Hello, welcome to Quilt in Color. Today, for day 23 of the 15 Minutes to Quilt Challenge, I'm going to be working on a stack and whack quilt. The stack and whack is the name of a process where you stack similar fabrics next to each other. They're stacked up exactly because they're exactly the same. And then you cut them, and then you can manipulate these to make beautiful kaleidoscope looking quilts. And so today I'm excited to show you what that quilt looks like. I hope you sew along with me today. Let's get started. Okay, so as I told you earlier, the stack and whack block is made by just putting fabrics right on top of each other. They have to be exactly the same, so you want to make sure that each of these pieces line up exactly on top of each other so that you get exactly duplicate blocks. This is the hardest part about making this quilt. And then basically once you have lined them up exactly on top of each other, you can just cut for this quilt 4 at a time. But if you're making a block with triangles, you may need to make 6 or 8. And then the repeat of the fabric is what makes the kaleidoscope effect. So let me show you this mirror. This is a mirror that will show you, you can look at the fabric here. You can see that what this block is going to look like. If you make a 45-degree angle here, you can see what this block will look like. But if you arrange it just slightly differently, it looks different. And then again, just little turns, just a slight turn is going to change the way your block looks, just like a kaleidoscope. And this leads to, as you can see, very elegant patterns as you go from one way to another. So let me show you what the blocks look like. Let's start at the beginning and I'll show you what's in the box. So we have some unfinished blocks over here. Put these aside for today. There's some scraps of the fabric that I was using. There's some black fabric. There's some pink fabric. More scraps. There's some orange fabric and some blue fabric. And then also there are some finished blocks in here. So let's look at the finished blocks just so we can admire them one at a time. This one is a tiny block. I think this is just from leftovers and I decided to just go ahead and make it because it's not the same size as the other ones are. So this one I think is just a bonus block that I can use for one of my little small quilts. Here's another bonus block for my small quilt. This is another bonus block for the small quilt. And this is the actual size of the blocks that I'm going to be using. And you can see that, you can see these going around, and just the way that the blocks are arranged, it just makes a big difference. Let's go ahead and do the rest of these pretty quickly because there's a big stack. There's this one. There's this one. These are not pressed, but the rest of these do look like they have been pressed. So this one. You can see how different each of the parts of the fabric look depending on how the block is arranged. And I think it makes a very elegant quilt. Even though the name Stack and Whack makes it sound like it would not give you a good result. And the thing about this 4-patch posy, this pattern is called 4-patch posy. And one thing that I really like about the 4-patch posy is that once you stack all of the fabric together, you can just cut the squares for this 4-patch without paying attention to what it's going to look like, and it's going to come up with a great design. It really is a low waste project. There's very little waste in this, because every design that I came up with made it look really pretty. Because as you can see, no matter how I arranged the blocks, they came up with some intriguing, beautiful design. The fabric that you choose for this block does not have to be pretty. Anything that is big and has a big motif works really well for this. So as you can see, I have some blocks that have partially been sewn together, and I just need to sew them to each other. And I need to make sure that I sew the correct parts to each other, like this, so that the symmetry shows in all of this. Let me show you a stack of blocks here. You can see all 4 of these squares are exactly the same. And the beauty of this 4-patch quilt is that you have lots of choices about how to arrange these blocks. So if I arranged all of these circles together like this is what the block would look like. But if I choose to rotate them all, you get a completely different look for the block. And then I rotate it again. There's another completely different look. And then last, I get back to the small circle in here. And this is the look that this gives me. And as you can see, all of these designs are beautiful, and you can just choose which design you like based on whatever you like. What I did was I compared them to other blocks that I had made, and just to make sure that there was a good variety. So if, for example, I have something like this, I already have something similar to this, so I can choose, even though it's different, it's not exactly the same, but it's close enough that I can maybe choose the other pattern. Which one did go this way? Something like this. So as you can see, no matter what I do, I won't go wrong. And what I also have here in this stack, I have some pieces that just need to be sewn together into, they've already been sewn into 2 patches, and they just need to be sewn together in 4 patches. And there's a bunch that have been pinned together that need to be sewn together in the whole block. I can get these done first so that they can be finished, and then these we can decide on what layout we like best. Most of these, the 4 patches, are still kept together with the thread, so it'll be easy to sew them together. Okay, so we'll go to the sewing machine and we'll start sewing. big circle. That. Of course, the pressure of the beeper makes it harder. Nesting seams. Okay. So 3 completed blocks from start to finish. This video is one of a series of videos where I'm showing you each of the works that I have in process. I'm just bringing them out one at a time to show you how much work I can get done in 15 minutes. I hope that you did so along with me today, and if you did, just leave a comment to let me know what you worked on and how much you got done today in your 15 minutes, and I'll give you an entry in the drawing. Thank you for watching. I appreciate all of your support, and we'll see you again tomorrow.